Welcome back to the podcast. We said we record every week, so here we are 7 weeks later.
Suggested to do a podcast 7 months ago.
This is going to be a 2023 end of year wrap up, and we've got an additional guest that you've never seen before, Ryan. He's actually been with Procoach the longest.
Who should he invite on?
Longest outstanding Procoach.
He was actually the first person I hired. He's been on my basement for the last 3 years. Ben, you alright?
Yeah, not bad. This is what 2023 did to me.
It's actually just a therapy session for Ben.
Yeah.
Boys on the other side, basically there's a segregation today between just old, tired people and athletes. So, yeah, that's what business does to you. Con, Lewis, Landon.
Hello.
Nice to be a part of the team.
Everyone be alright? You good?
Very good.
Yep, very good.
Everyone looking rather large?
Trying my best.
What's been going on?
Everyone just look at me straight away.
That's what I'm trying to make it as awkward as possible.
It looks like he's sweating a little bit.
Everyone is sweating a little bit between the lights and the heavy laughing going on. Everyone's a bit sweaty.
I can't see anyone.
Just blinded.
I'm just following the voices.
That's Ben all the time, anyway.
That's me last 7 days. Where am I?
Con, you're obviously now finishing the year in IFBB Pro.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, very good. Very good.
And Landon,
Got no knees.
very
at
close
the moment.
to being an IFBB Pro.
Liam jumped on the gear. Welcome to bodybuilding.
That's this year's biggest achievement.
Quadruple the size of what it was last year.
How's the last few months been for you, Con, since you turned pro?
Yeah, more business focused. Putting my body back together. Obviously, my knees.
One piece at a time?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. So yeah, just run through a maintenance phase, recovery phase. Just started back on cycle this week, so life is now better, of course. Being back on cycle.
Cue everyone jumps on gear.
We do not condone this method.
This is only for research purposes.
Not for human consumption.
Not exactly. Moving into this off season, so sitting now at what 213, 214 at the end of this maintenance phase, which is actually the heaviest that I've ever been.
Yeah.
So we're in a very, very good position to move forward now into a full-fledged off season.
Yeah.
Just had some treatment done on my knees. I've got tendonitis in both of them at the moment, which is not great.
Yeah.
But we're on the right path to getting that sorted, getting full use of my legs back, which is obviously been the goal.
It sounds like you're being a fucking...
This man's even Forrest Gump.
This is the project.
Yes.
Yeah.
Lieutenant Dan over there.
He did one tour of Norway. But congrats, mate. It's very cool to see that. Very cool to see that.
Yeah, couldn't have done it without everybody, obviously, particularly you, Callum.
And obviously, star training partner of
Yeah, I mean, fucking hell, been there for me every step of the way,
Yeah.
without getting too deep. Definitely wouldn't be an IFBB pro without Lewis.
Support network, isn't it?
Oh, massive. You know, without support network, there are very few people, in my opinion, that go on to succeed, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Whether it be Ben in business, whether it be you in coaching, whether it be me, you know, being an IFBB pro. Support network is everything, particularly not so much when you're doing well, more in them times when you're not doing so well, whether it be picking yourself up off the floor or whatever it may be. So yeah, very appreciative of all that.
Landon, what's going on your side, mate?
Well, just similar with Connor, just very business focused now. Prep finished. Just coming up to 6 weeks post show.
Is it only 6 weeks?
Mad, isn't it?
It's mad. Is it 7? Is it 7?
By quick, isn't it?
Yeah. So yeah, 6-7 weeks post show. 6-7 weeks post show now. And yeah, as I say, just kind of adjusting back to what most people consider a normal life. But I suppose this is kind of normal life for us, just living that training, living that diet. Most of us anyway.
Living that training, doing that, you know what it is.
And that's why we're separated opposite sides.
Please don't anyway, gang signs. Come on. Fun laugh.
Low test.
Chicken and broccoli.
Very good.
Yeah, good.
We lost track there then.
Chicken and broccoli.
Lots of training.
Yeah, lots of training.
Oh dear.
Factual though. Lewis, what's going on?
Sir, obviously big year in terms of first year competing assisted.
Yeah.
Obviously big step. Thank you, Ross. Obviously 2021 was my natural season, and then we had.
What did you do in 2021?
We won a British title.
Who did you prep by?
Yeah. Who also had you on 600 calories?
Hey, got to do what wins.
Who also had you on 600 calories for
that
16
was-
weeks?
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
You got to do what you're doing.
Very brutal.
Methodology, or whatever you fucking say.
Methodology. I think that's something else.
Breaking out the secrets here.
We're laughing.
No one here sells drugs, is it? I don't know,
Zach Supplement's
Yeah, so 2021 you didn't, obviously you won everything.
UK FBA, British novice champion, sprint by yourself, then took the jump to go and assisted. Known Zach for a very, very long time. UK FBA shows together, got chatting, basically said, we actually sat at the overall at the British finals. I remember you saying to me, who's going to win? And we had our pick, and you said, right, if that guy wins, I'll coach you next year.
Which British runs was this?
Yeah, UK FBA.
Yeah.
Oh dear, okay.
In 2022.
Right.
He won.
Who won that?
He was a foreign guy. I think it was like a German.
Oh, okay.
I think.
That's the coldest move ever to get a
I know.
sneaky.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to the Olympia and I'll go to the Rami or something.
Yeah, it's like, mate, if Bumstead wins this, I'll coach you. Yeah. All right, mate. Yeah, all right, mate.
Oh god, fuck you all anyway.
That is a great way of starting it off. Fair play.
Yeah.
Yeah, but to be honest, I have known fucking Lude since. God,
20,
we said this story
15,
loads of
20
times,
years.
but
Something like
Oh, it's gone back
yeah,
a long way.
long
way,
time.
yeah.
It was actually his old man that got me into personal training, got me into a gym, and then
Yeah.
that's class. Yeah.
That's when I first met Zach, when you came to M10 for a photo shoot. You were with like BSN or you were with BSN? I think that's when you were PTing still at
it would be.
yeah.
Yeah, it would be.
Future.
I mean, I used to go in the gym when I was, 10, 11 years old. They'd take me over the park.
And his old man would ask me to take him over the park and do some
Really?
football drills and stuff. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
That's where you built those legs.
Roots. Yeah.
In the fields.
Oh, that's why I never turned out
So you
to
can take credit for him then. But yeah, and you can tell the rest. We did show this year.
The Amplified Classic, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Third in heavyweights there against two very, very good bodybuilders, to be fair.
Yeah.
I did exact revenge for you though, didn't I, brother?
Mate, you
Yeah.
did.
Connor was just twiddling his thumbs in the audience
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
I'm
for
gonna
sure.
have that, Nick.
Yeah, that class was
It was a good
very
class.
good, yeah.
I mean, for me this year it was about seeing where I am and what I need to do, moving forwards.
Yeah.
So I was happy to dip my toe in one show, and then basically just get to work and do what I need to do.
Looks fucking insane.
25.
No, yeah. As a look, yeah, as a coach, you can only just take someone on there and just have them looking fucking just crisp.
Yeah.
And you fucking and you was everyone will.
But there's one and two were also much older bodybuilders as well, right? So
Yeah,
the maturity of the physique and everything was much
I
different.
think they had probably 7-8 kilos on me as well,
Mm.
both of them.
Yeah, because we decided just to not try and scrape into the
Light heavies.
light heavies. Yeah,
Yeah.
we just went fucking full steam and just said, look, we'll just peak as we'd normally peak and just let the physique be at its best, and where it lands, it fucking lands. Because there was no huge goal, of course. We always want to fucking win, but it was just getting you on stage and seeing where you sat, and now we know. And it literally is just a case of just a bit more
Time.
Yeah, and time, patience.
Gear.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
some of that as well.
Time taking gear, right?
Some of that as well.
Time patience and patience with time taking gear.
Put that on a t-shirt somewhere.
Procoach,
It's like-
ethos.
Yeah, it's like a maths equation. Length of exposure. What was the difference? What was the weight difference between you and Nick and Finland then? Norway?
I think that would have been close to 20 kilos.
20 kilos?
I would have thought so.
That's mad, isn't it?
I would have been bottom end of light heavies, so I scraped through.
Yeah, you
you know,
just
within
gone
a
up
couple
to
of- couple of pounds or something
Because we were
like
on the edge of going, oh, do we go middles or do we
Yeah.
go lights?
But you know, at that point, I felt like
Didn't
I
matter.
kind of pushed you to sort of fill me up a little bit more,
Yeah,
didn't
yeah,
I? You know.
yeah.
But then Nick would have been in supers, wouldn't he? I believe.
No, heavy.
No, sorry, no. He would have been
Heavies
top
and then-
end of heavies.
and
I
then the
would have
other level
thought,
was,
looking at his. I mean, that guy's got a lot of muscle on him.
Big guy, yeah.
So yeah, I would have thought close to me being at the bottom end, him being at the top end.
Yeah, it'd be close to
20,
20,
20
yeah.
kilos.
Yeah. Be close
Yeah.
to 20 kilos.
What was Lee, what was you when you stood on stage as a natty, and then stood on stage as what was the time difference between?
So October is about middle of October 21 to 29th of July 23. So that's about 21 months.
Just under 2 years, isn't it?
Just under 2 years. And what was the difference?
So that was, I was 77 and a half, 78 as a natty. It's about 93
Yeah.
this year.
That's just
So
under
what's
2
that?
years.
16 kilos?
15, 16 kilos. Yeah,
Just under
stage
2
weight.
years.
Yeah.
More advertisement for gear.
That's not what I'm lost into.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
that sitting at surplus. You know,
Yeah.
not enough people do it.
Yeah.
Sit in it,
Take
get
the
heavy.
time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, extend that runway, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I think it's
Yeah.
just doing, like, there's nothing's changed.
Yeah.
I was just doing what I was doing before as a natural.
Yeah.
Like, nothing has changed whatsoever. You just got
Like
like,
a coach now.
yeah, exactly.
Still on the brush. Came third this year. Novice. Novice.
But saying that,
Said.
it would have been interesting. Obviously, it's way cooler now because you've gone to much bigger things. But it would have been interesting to see what you would have done as a natural pro, for example.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
because I'd imagine if you'd have stayed as a natural, you'd have still, you'd have gone all the way as natty as well.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, my goals just didn't like that.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't excite me
yeah.
to chase that goal.
Exactly. Yeah.
No, you need. I think to do this sport, you need something that excites you.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Makes the hard stuff a little bit easier when it's more motivating.
of course it does. For sure.
More motivating.
You
But that's
say you're taking a whole of next year.
Yeah, I'm
off
taking
as
the whole
well.
of next year.
yeah.
As I said, this year was just about seeing where I am and what I need to do. The next run is like the serious run.
Yeah.
Where we're like
25.
want to be
We
right
can
at
put
the top.
we
yeah.
can put it. We can say, you know,
Sure.
you want to win your pro card.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know,
That'd be fucking nuts. after
this
another
year we
year.
didn't really say that, did we?
No,
You know,
no.
it was more. Let's see where we're at.
It was more
But-
it could happen because you're a
Yeah,
fucking good
yeah,
athlete.
it's true.
And you got a great fucking physique,
But-
but it was never like, we're going to fucking win a pro card.
Yeah, 2025. We can say cemented. That's the year.
Yeah,
Sure.
Yeah.
A lot of people should. I know we always say as well, but a lot of people should take note of that as well. How many people do we fucking see? Or like, yeah, but how many people do we see like, come on consults with us? What's your goal? I want to win a pro card. Have you competed? I've done 1 or 2 shows.
Yeah.
Come
Well,
on.
they haven't done any.
Earn some. There's very few people out there that just go and do a show, win a pro card, etc., straight away.
Yeah, it's become such a big thing. I had a consult not too long ago. She never even competed powerlifting. She was there like, oh, I want a wellness pro card in 2 years. I was there like, you haven't even attempted bodybuilding. You haven't even attempted the lifestyle. How can you say that you want a pro card?
I agree.
What would you say to like younger athletes that are still natural and competing naturally? Say if they're maybe not at the level where they're doing well in that, and then want to make the jump over to IFBB. If you can't do well in a natural federation, do you reckon that then ties over to your ability to do well?
You have to be.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It doesn't, because like
It doesn't.
your limitations on yourself as a natural athlete are they're locked in. You know, the kind of way, like obviously your time is going to allow you to grow tissue over time, but again, if you have a lower baseline blood level of anything that's going to be productive in terms of building muscle, that's always going to be a limiting factor. But if you go into NPC or IFBB, you're most likely going to move into the assisted realm. You know, if not, you're just going to be losing more often. You know, that's the reality of it. You can kind of offset some of those limitations that you had by, you know, moving the assisted space. I know we joke and everything about using gear and using tests and stuff like that. It is jovial and it's fun. But the reality is that the kind of the playing field can be somewhat leveled out in that respect. Then your only real limitation is things like your genetics, your ability to be adherent. You know, do you actually want to be
Your work ethic.
Yeah, your ethic. You know, but like to say that if you don't do well at a natural show, you won't ever do well in the NBC IFBB is a bit of a misnomer.
Yeah.
I think as well. I think what the question you were also asking there is if, and correct me if I'm wrong, but if you don't do any good, if you can't do any good in a natty show, is there any point in going over to assisted? Is that also what you were saying? Yeah. Well, again, I mean, I definitely say those that are punching at the top of standing on the fucking Olympia stage, coming first, second, third, that they are. You know, as a natty, they'd probably be smashing everything.
Exactly.
Well.
Yeah.
So yes, the question is like, you know, if the answer is if you can't do too well in the natty, you're probably not going to. That's what I'm looking for, guys. You're not going to turn heads and do amazing things as a IFBB pro, but that doesn't mean that you can't fucking go and do well as an IFBB pro and go in assisted.
It might just take you the same amount of time and the same amount of effort just with assistance.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of
Yeah. So no, I got that question.
Yeah. It's the same building blocks regardless, though, isn't it?
What's that?
Same building blocks regardless.
As Luke said, he's doing exactly the same.
Yeah.
Nothing's changed.
Nothing's different. Just
I think it's the same as well when you make that transition from prep to off season. When people say, "What's changed?" Actually, nothing changes at all. You should still go to sleep at the same time. You wake up at the same time. You eat your food at the same time. You train at the same time. That's it. Them fundamentals stay the same.
Yeah. Just your capacity then increases.
Correct. Exactly. So. Yeah.
Gear's a great thing, but it's not fucking. I can say it's not magical, but it is. But it's like, it's not. You take some gear, then all of a sudden you're going to become an IFBB pro. It's like, you know, and you see it all on social media as well. When you know, comments like, "Oh, it's just gear, it's just this." It's like, come on, like I know fucking hundreds of people who took gear and look no fucking different.
Mm.
So what are they missing? Are they missing genetics? Probably not. They're just missing fucking
effort.
That lifestyle, that diet, that fucking training, that hard work.
Yeah. It's like putting more gasoline in your car, or you know, unleaded, whatever it is, better quality fuel. But it's how you drive it that's going to make the difference, and it's your habits and it's your discipline, and like, you know, even you both are a testament to this in terms of the progress that you make as individuals is a byproduct. And we're speaking about this today in terms of like quality muscle on stage. It's a byproduct of how you train. And a lot of times when you see these situations of people like making insane progress, just look at the habits that they have when the cameras aren't on them and when you're not watching them. Look at the habits they have of, you know, they'll still be at the same time every day eating their meals, they'll still go to bed on time, they'll still train like a fucking animal. Regardless of whether it's being filmed or Instagram or they just got the hood up and nobody's in the gym. And it's doing that 7 days, well, you know, whatever. It's doing that year round that's going to make the difference year after year after year. Because like we've had consults before in the past where you've had a consult form and you've seen you know, previous history with what they've done with training and what they've done with PEDs, and like you're looking at the client like that, like what? It's like you look like a beginner, and he's done all this before in the past. When that just tells you it's like it's not as simple as it's what you've done, it's how you've done it.
It's being done in that off-season environment as well. Like that, you know, turning the screw on for prep is just not enough to cut it. You know, it might be enough to cut it as a, you know, an amateur, but when you want to be, you know, a high-level amateur turning pro and being a professional bodybuilder, it's around the clock. When you turn professional, another switch has to flick. Because what I was doing before won't cut it. You know, you have to go to the even next level.
It's very similar to what we just said about
and you can apply them principles in anything with business.
Like exactly what we've spoken about today.
Yeah, for sure.
It's the exact same thing.
Of course it is.
I'm not going to be involved in much of this conversation. I'll jump in when we talk about business.
Let's talk about business.
No,
CRM.
It's like what's my intro to this? Well, I've hit my 1,000th vape. I've completely. I've completed caffeine intolerance now. Mild cardiac arrest on Monday.
We're actually here to look after him.
Yeah, but business is fucking great. So yeah, no, I get what you mean by that side, because it's just about it all comes down to the framework. It comes down to how you use the machine rather than what you push into it. So it's like the amount of people who come to me, and I've done this myself. You've got two ways. You've got, imagine like trends, cash, and then you've got like mass, which is finance. People think if you plough as much cash into something or as much awareness, then that's going to basically blow what you've got up, but it actually can just create more problems internally. So it's exactly the same. You push too much gear into a body, it can't handle the stress, it starts to fucking break down, it starts to look wilted, right? Or again, just fucking breaks you, like you see some horror stories. It's exactly the same when it comes to business. You put, well, this is what I spoke about with these lads today. I was like, organisational structure, skills, commitment, systems, isolating individual key responsibilities like content and coaching. Right, now let's pour some fuel onto it. Let's smash fucking life out of it. Because if you do that before, you end up with thousands, and again, experience this with majority of clients that I work with, thousands of leads, thousands of potential, but nothing's coming over that line. And it's just, it comes down to the concept of doing it right. Like my podcast is called Doing It Right. And it's a case of whatever you're going to do it in the proper way. Don't just do it for the sake of it. Do it for the sake of it. You're just going to waste loads of time, waste loads of money, waste loads of energy, and that's obviously like the last thing that you want.
Yeah.
Where can we find that podcast, Ben? Just for the
It's
plug.
on YouTube. I've only just hit 10k followers, so I won't worry about my YouTube. No, I have actually got some decent YouTube stuff on there. That's why I'm so knackered, because I've just finished the world tour, obviously. And I've got a baby coming in 59 days. So
59 days.
59 days, yeah. And I've got a breastfeeding class on Sunday. And yeah, so that's the life of Ben Oxford, really, in all fairness. But yeah, it was class obviously coming on to the podcast today. When was the last meeting that we had when we were in? It was here.
Like Jimmy's.
Yeah, we had one mid-year.
Definitely wasn't as cold.
It was warm, yeah.
Yeah, we had one basically at mid-year where we were setting up kind of where to go next. And that was, don't get me wrong, that day was good because I was like presenting strategy and improvement stuff onto that side, but today it was less glamorous. It weren't build a presentation, it weren't trying to come in and fucking impress people what I was saying. It was a case of going, imagine that you've got a big cog, a medium and a small cog. If we add those in and integrate this together, prepare to fucking put as much electricity through this as possible, you've got a multi-7-figure business. And it's the hardest thing about like days like today is when you've got a presentation and you can be funny, right, and it's great, you can have a laugh with it, it's all about entertainment. With stuff like today, it's a case of just like having a conversation, looking people in the eyes and going, do you fucking understand what this will do? And if people turn around and go, right, yeah, you know that it's going to work. But a lot of the time is when you've got a team as big as this, like there's 12, 11, yeah, but that was including back-end staff, there's about 12, 13 staff.
13, yeah.
So 13 staff, including my lot, you're looking upwards of 22 to 24 people integrated into like the synergy of a business moving. But it's like, for me, it's like, right, when we looked at today, team managing directorship, and then obviously sales and marketing management, I can't do my shit properly unless those 3 pillars are done. So like you said about building a business, it's like, right, what's the most important? Sleep and recovery, training and nutrition.
Yeah.
You don't matter how good your fucking sleep is if you're training shit. It don't matter how good your training is if you sleep shit.
You need all 3.
You need all 3 together.
Correct.
So I'll always use analogies comparing like physiques to businesses because it makes it relatable for you. Neanderthals talking about meatheads. But it's like, but it makes it really, really, really relatable and really, really easy to understand.
Where's the CRM muscle?
How do I trade it? Yeah, no, it's true. It's true.
Yeah. But yeah, well, I'm excited. I'm more excited today than I was last time because now I know that there's teams got capacity, headspace. Zach don't want to knock me out. Like
It's always nice.
We're in a great spot. Last time it was so like.
Is when we set off from Derbyshire and Zach's like, why the fuck do you have to go again?
No,
But look at him now. He's thriving.
Google Sheets and everything. Zach recently saved his passwords to his laptop.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's the biggest thing is the infrastructure is there now. It's now just like making it all click.
Oh yeah, it's exciting. That's what I said today. It's like I know what happens when you do what we're about to do to a business, and then you put marketing into it. But it's a case of like just not trying to run before we can walk. It's like it was hard when all you lads joined, and I was like I wanted to turn around and go, fuck individual legion, individual content strategy, and I sat there and I went, there's shit on a bigger picture that needs to be sorted here. Because it's how people look at it is going, right, if I, like, you've got the concept of, right, I'm going to send 50 DMs a day. What the fuck is sending 50 DMs a day to random people? It's bullshit. We know to put this perspective of podcast, we lined up a campaign today, which in my opinion should get 7,500 to 8,000 leads in Q1 2023. Right.
For what year is it?
2024, yeah. So the 3-month period, I want to make 7,500 leads for Procoach. Based on what we spoke about today is easily possible and or old, but the amount of leads that you're getting don't fucking matter. It's about how you can convert them, so how you can manage them, and it's like and I found it difficult because I was saying to my lad, I said like, these lads have just joined and they're expecting me to come in and go, right, I'm going to give you loads of leads and loads of information, but in my opinion, it's so much better to see this process and be part of the process and understand it. So when we do switch it on, you're like, right, that slightly slower period there is so much easier to handle now because we've got that team management structure in place. Because you've got to think what we spoke about today, the level of fulfillment that you lads will have by simply not having to mess about with the CRM side of things. It's like your team perform. Like I put a post up the other day. It's what was it? Fucking business dream team. Summer business team, dream team, I don't know, something like that, or a quote. But it basically, I made that mistake in my own business. I had upwards of 28 staff at one point, and I was just hiring staff for the sake of hiring staff, not thinking about how fulfilled they were in their roles, and then start pushing on marketing and wondering why shit were breaking. That we reduced our staff, took jobs off people that they didn't want to do, isolated people into specific areas, then smash marketing and we can handle it easily. Because it's not just about a CRM. A CRM's shit without a person managing it. It's an automation, a system, an email, a fucking social post, everything does not matter. It's just fancy shit. It's the people within the business what move it forward. So it's like the expansion of the team was the biggest thing because of capacity. And I was like, and one thing I'll say is I do rip Cal quite a lot, I'm not going to lie, but in the last 3 months he's become the director that I know that he can be. And the moment that shit happens, that's when you take off. So I recently hired my best mate Rob as a COO into my business, so he took over all 3 companies. He's now basically the boss. I stepped out of that and off the reins, and I've had more creative ideas in 8 weeks than I have probably done in 8 years. No, I'm not joking. Yeah. And it's the moment that he's not living. Have you ever heard of the archetypes where you've got king, queen, magician, warrior, lover? Yeah. Have you ever heard of that? Yeah. So basically, he's operated as a warrior. So a warrior is someone who's like Zach. Zach's always going to be a warrior, right? That's who Zach is to his core, because he don't need to be coming in and thinking, fuck me, I've got to manage 24 staff and all these multiple company things. He likes doing all the check-ins every single day, being in the ranks, right, being in the thick of it. Whereas Cal's obviously got like an entrepreneurship about him, where he wants to create something which is a concept and something where warriors want to join, which is Procoach now. But for him to take this business to where it needs to be, if he's still thinking that he's acting like you guys on the ranks, who the fuck's leading it? Mm-hmm. And that's one thing I've drilled into it for a year. I said, you are not Cal Raystrick who needs to be doing 150 check-ins a day and not sleeping anymore. You're Cal Raystrick who has all these warriors underneath him, and you've got your magicians like Ryan, sorry.
Ryan's definitely a magician.
Yeah. So, for example,
that's why he doesn't get on the podcast for so long.
So with obviously you've got Ryan and Alex. Like Ryan and Alex have been coaches for a very long time, but they're the people who are coming forward, pitching. The magicians are pitching ideas to me where I've not even thought about them as ideas, and I'm like, fucking hell. Like, that's the type of, because they're now more suited into their roles. They don't want to be coming in and doing this silly amount of volume check-ins. They want to be creating stuff which is on a bigger level, like I'm not going to fucking
The
blow
X.
the load of X all over the table. I know you enjoy that. Well. But for example, they like the creative side.
Penny dropped a little bit late there.
They like all the creative side. So it's like George for me, the automations guy. He's my magician, right? And then you've got, and it sounds the lovers, even though we are all lovers off camera and on camera, if you want to say that. But for example, the lovers are like Zoe, right? If Zoe's having to work in and she's having to fuck about with you lot battling, she can't do her job properly. Her job is to look after the people who look after the people. She comes in, she looks after Alex, looks after Cal, looks after Harvin, and then that all goes through there. But this is something that I've massively focused on in the last 6 months. I've literally turned around to people and gone, just tell me what you don't enjoy doing in my business. People have turned around and I'm not like some answers. Generally I've knocked, I'm like, fucking I'm paying a lot of fucking money to do that. Right, but for example, like some people turn around and say stuff and I'm like, right, I understand and respect that, and all I've done is I've just taken that off them and given them 10 more jobs. No, but like,
There's your choice.
I'm just isolating it, and that's what it comes down to. But like we said today, like everything breaks down if there's no communication. And all an organisational chart and restructure and internal hiring is improving communication. And that's pretty much all we're going to do once we've got that. And then all I'm going to say is there's some levels stuff coming out in January, basically. That's the only way I could say.
I bet that's been pretty difficult for you over the last couple of months then, coming to that realisation that you probably can't be that person that you've been for the last 5 or 6 years.
I also...
He was fucking too busy to realise.
Well, yeah.
Well, there's
You know, surely the realisation that you don't have to do that anymore is a pretty good feeling.
It's hard.
Scary,
Yeah.
but also
I think
good.
it's your focus to shifts onto the bigger picture. Because
But it's got to, hasn't it?
That side's never going to stop. It's just going to be on a smaller scale for me personally. But it's also the fact that the coaching side and the business side now, I can see the bigger picture in terms of the scalability of the business and where it's been over the last, even since you took control there. There's a couple of bottlenecks. Like we had a bottleneck at the start, we got past it, and that's been a year. And there's also a bottleneck now.
Yeah.
And unless I reroute how I do things, you won't get through the bottlenecks.
Yeah.
So like now it's a case of right, now this needs to shift again, and then you nudge forwards again.
Yes.
You come back to the same problems over and over and over again.
Yeah, it's almost like right,
So,
tweak it, restructure it, go again.
So like this year, I will confidently say I am in a king position in my business, but I've also just lived like a warrior, travelling to over 60 different countries and cities for 10 months, and it's absolutely fucking killed me now. And it's like right now, it's like I'm in that position, but my behaviours are moving back to what my roots are. Mm-hmm. And there's nothing wrong with that. I've actually just ordered a massive canvas, which is like a barbarian fucking king. It's fucking sick. Basically like a king, but it's a warrior at the same time, because it's like for me, I'm a rough council house kid. I never want to lose that about myself. But you've always got to remind yourself that look, that's who I need to be, not for myself, but for everyone else underneath me. What I realised, and what helped me the most is, if I don't change my perception and change my direction, everyone else underneath me will suffer. Because while ever I'm still trying to be the man in the ranks, no one else can step up into my position. And that's the thing what changed it for me. When I just basically thought, actually, I'm inhibiting the growth of the people within my business because of my own behaviours. And that's the hardest thing about being a director, is learning to let go, but when the time is right. It's not about letting go, it's about just allowing people to step up and take that level of trust. So it's like with Zach, for example, it's so easy because he's just he's one of the OGs. But you don't get, he's like a 3% coach, you know what I mean? He's in that top bracket. It's hard to get those type of people. And it's a case of when you've got the teams going underneath
That's
it's
why
very difficult.
when you first started, and we'd had our first call, you texted me straight after and said, Zach's not going to work. Because it was like trying to fit a triangle into a circle.
Yeah.
But then I said to him, I was like, look, trust me, when it works, which it will, it will be perfect.
I just said don't try and force anything onto it.
But you just need to let him do his thing. And now it's like, it clicks, you've got the
Authentic.
platform you need to.
Just be authentic.
And you're the individual that needs to be in that role as well.
And that's your biggest strength in terms of like how individual you are. Do you know what I mean?
It is.
Something we spoke about today in terms of like we're all a team, we're all Procoach, but we're all individuals. I think that for you stands out very well, just from how you are. the amount of times you say fuck in a sentence. It's like,
It's a talent.
it's a talent.
It's a skill.
Learning to say no and communicate how you feel is one of the strongest traits that you can have in a coach and client relationship and in a professional relationship. So I love it when my staff turn around to me and go, no, this is a better way of doing it. The worst thing in the world is where you tell because I have to do it all the time. It's like with Zach or with anyone in a company. If I go, right, X, Y, Z, if the worst thing is when someone goes, oh yeah, and then just doesn't fucking do it because they don't want to do it, rather than turn around and going, that's not right for me, and I'll go, right, well, have you thought about this option?
Yeah.
But it's like that's a confidence trait.
Yeah.
Same with a client, like that. You've got yes men and yes women. And they're just saying it for the sake of it, and they're not actually even doing it afterwards. There's no progression with that. Like they're having the confidence to turn around and say no and have an opinion on something is the one thing that's going to allow you to develop the most in anything that you do.
People just question you and challenge you on things.
Yeah, mate, fucking challenge people.
Yeah. We all look at like all the clients.
No, Callum, I'm not
You
taking 500 milligrams of Trent to win this pro card.
Challenge you to a duel.
I'm taking 600 instead.
That was a joke, by the way.
How much do you want it?
Yeah.
Got enough to live.
Yeah, that's very true. What's going on in life, alright?
It's been good, man. It's been good. I think it's been a big year for me, big few years.
Still doing this with James?
Still coaching with James, Jimbo. He's just had his 2 little baby twins. Congratulations, Jimbo, if you're watching.
Jimbo.
And
Well, in the pram twice.
yeah, reconnecting with him has been a really fucking good thing for me across the last few months. I think, as we all know, like just our own personal development and development as a coach comes from you working on yourself first. I found even across the last few months now, me putting more energy back into myself again, which maybe I was neglecting before, has now allowed me to have that space and energy to put back into like my clients and my coaching. So I'm just looking forward to that momentum building now across the next sort of couple of years, and just you continuing this journey now. Just being fucking excited over the future as well, and like things that we've got in the pipeline, and just having that foresight of where I want to go as an individual and then where this team wants to go. It's a really nice feeling at the moment of that progression, and just excited for what's to come now. Obviously having you on the team has been, I think, brilliant for all of us, but for me personally, like a couple of the tasks that we've had to do recently, just almost looking into ourselves more as individuals and coaches, is just allowed me to realise where my strengths lie and how I then need to capitalise on that sort of moving forward, really. But it's been a good year.
You've come to it now, mate. Sometimes it takes a while to figure out where you fit into the piece, and it's like you are like the longest standing client for Team Procoach. But I've said for ages, I was just like, the last team day. I remember this. I turned around because Ryan went there, and I said, Ryan is as an all-rounder across coaching, knowledge, education,
Yeah, you did
tech
say
skills,
this.
everything. I turned around and said, Ryan is the single most impressive person in the Procoach
I
company.
remember you saying that.
And that's what I said. But the thing is, at that point, he's like your identity, and obviously we're going through like with the illness and stuff onto that side, you would take him back. And I related to that a lot because it's taken me 10 years to be able to turn around and get that Zach attitude where I just don't give a fuck. Before that, I'd doubt myself. I had a lot of trauma, a lot of fucking issues. It's only since getting ADHD and ASD assessment that I felt like, fuck me, I actually know who I am now. Do you know what I mean? And that's when it takes a while to get to that point. And for you, it's like, mate, this, with the new business concepts and everything else onto that side, like for you to turn around and go, right, this is how I want to do it, this is what we need to do, I'm like, mint. Because I know that I can turn around to someone like you and go, right, I need you to go and do that, can it be done by X date? And that could be building a new fucking online course, I know it'll get done. And it's I can't say that, fucking I can't say it too. Can you wipe your ass by now?
Let me just move some things around. crying at 3, can't miss that.
But it's like...
Yeah. So I forget why I came into a room.
No, there's not many people you can turn around and say that to, and I think that's what I'd like to give you a bit of a round of applause from everyone, I think. So. coming back, mate. But coming back as a king in a different area.
Yeah, man.
That's what you are now, mate. It's not.
I appreciate that.
And that's not easy.
Appreciate that.
Coming back from
It's not all.
being at wherever you were.
Yeah.
You know?
No, that's it. Yeah, I need a tissue, man.
Very good. Very smart, Ross.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say full plums.
It's true, though. It's true.
You're welcome.
Well, you've been on a similar fucking journey yourself.
Yeah. But everybody has.
Yeah.
You
But
can't,
that's the kind of
you can't escape
the thing that
adversity.
moulds you for
No
what
point
you,
trying to hide from it. It's
what
going to hit
you're
you.
doing.
It's going to hit you. Don't matter who you are.
Mm.
Doesn't matter how much money you've got. Whether you're an IFBB pro, don't matter who you are.
Mm.
It's inevitable. You know, it's how you manoeuvre around it and keep moving forward.
Mm.
That shows the man.
For sure.
You know, when you're
Just-
down and out, you got
Just
to
having the
find a
right
way.
people around you as well. Like,
It is.
it's having you boys around and knowing that I had your support to fucking just keep putting one step in front of the other, and it could have easily just been sort of gone the other direction.
Oblivion.
That's it. But
It's time, I think.
it's just time, yeah.
Focus on gen- It's like the amount we spoke earlier, like similar to me. I've been through counsellors, therapists, professional fucking mental performance people, God knows how many stuff. Now, if I look back and think, right, what's actually helped me the most? Yeah, it's getting help, but it's just every single day you have a conversation there. You could have 10 conversations in a day. It's an accumulation of all those little micro lessons that will come to the outcome of, right, I can get over this, I can move on. It's not what you can have in, and this is one thing that I find really difficult. That comes to me and go, I need help in X, and I need to get it by like Y. You can't put a fucking answer to that. You can't put a finger on that. It's the same as someone coming to you with like a bit of a fucked physique. You're like, it's going to take a little bit of time if you're going to do this properly and do it right. It's the same if you're going through adversity. The best thing to do is just take your emotion and your investment out of that initial state there and just try and move forward with it. And that's what will make anything better. It's an accumulation of everything after that, because the acute response you can't control. So that's physiological. It's just about how you accumulate going things into the right direction, talking to the right people, breathing the right type of fucking air, not vaping.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, it's good shit, man.
I'll cut that hat.
Yeah, I can't wait for one after this podcast.
Sound.
Magic, you want a bit of time on the mic?
If you want me to go on, mate, I'll come on. Whatever you want.
We'll talk about CrossFit.
Yeah.
Sign me up.
Talk about your.
a bit of a transformational few weeks.
Yeah. Do you want me to come on?
Come on.
You can take my seat if you want. Come on.
Talk about your burpees and upper chest workout this morning.
Take a seat.
Ben needs a nap, so.
Yeah, I'm just getting to the door to drive home. Straight off Snake's Path.
I'm gonna go and do it. Just gonna sniff to see.
I'm in.
That was gotta say one moderator.
What's going on then?
Nothing really.
Everything's gone done.
Your few weeks been?
It's been stressful. It's been enlightening as well, and unexpected. Those are the three key words. Like, still processing it a little bit mentally, but physically I'm good. After everything.
Everything?
Yeah. After the full lot. We're not going to do that deep dive. I'll breeze over.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just what was it? We were kicking on with off season. It was going well. Just started pushing up, and then food poisoning hit, and then that transition basically was after it all. The doctor said it was suspected E. coli, which transitioned into suspected sepsis, and then I was on really fucking strong
So how does
antibiotics.
it go from E. coli to sepsis?
They couldn't even tell me, mate. They didn't even do any like real samples and tests, but they were just saying suspected this, suspected that. But the symptoms that I was carrying, like it was basically over 12 days. So the symptoms that I was carrying was basically everything related to sepsis in terms of like fever, swelling, water retention. The fucking pain was
Yeah, he said it.
another level. Like I didn't walk for 12 days. So
How much weight do you lose in the end?
£20 in 4 days, and then £10 on the remainder of that 12 days. So
I think we saw you the week before. We should.
I was literally
That was
the
a week.
PCA
Yeah.
PCA finals
Yeah.
weekend.
Yeah.
That's when
You was at
You were
the
fit,
trophy
yeah.
as well, right?
You were filmed, isn't
The
it?
trophy,
Yeah.
British
The finals, I was up there with HR Labs on the stand. So, literally left there on the Sunday night. Woke up Monday feeling a bit dodgy. Went and trained legs because obviously that's what you got to do.
when you feel dodgy.
Yeah. Popped an Imodium because the stomach was feeling a little bit
And I've
dodgy.
done
I'll sort it out.
And then literally I got worse throughout that leg session. I left the gym and then the pain was just... I was sitting outside the school to pick my daughter up and I was just like in agony. And then walked to the house and then I was in bed from that moment then.
Yeah.
Well, obviously hospital beds. Got admitted the first week on the third day for the food poisoning. That settled down by the Friday. As that settled down, the pain that I was in got worse. To the point where I was just in tears like early hours of the morning. Got readmitted to hospital the next day. And then I was just... I was in one hospital for 3 days and then they transitioned me to a different hospital with specialists.
Wow.
For the back end of that. So yeah, and then obviously I texted you when I was in the first hospital after I'd been sitting on the idea of just
Yeah, I think we were away in
yeah.
in
You were living it up, sending me fucking videos of Mykonos, and I was lying in the hospital with tears coming up my nose, and all sorts going on. So yeah,
I'm pretty sure when Cal told me, I was like sitting at the back of the sun trying to enjoy him about. I was like, he's not mad.
did not give a fuck.
Nah, I did. I cared.
What's that? You've
For
been
about 11
toying with the idea of what?
Yeah, I was just
Toying
like started.
Idea of health.
Just started thinking about things like obviously I was in hospital for something completely non-related to bodybuilding.
Yeah.
But
You got the cogs. You got the
yeah,
cogs going.
were spinning, man. 'Cause I was in, like lying in a bed for 5 days.
Yeah.
Looking at that ceiling.
Yeah.
Like finally, Mr. Fucking Magic Eye was not racing around the fucking country 100 miles an hour. I was just
Yeah.
lying there, and I had time to think.
Yeah.
And it's when you have time to think, you start thinking about what really,
Matters.
what really matters. Obviously, it still matters. It's still a huge part of me. But what's it worth? What am I getting back from it?
Right.
We've already accomplished way more than we ever thought I would.
So what's the? Is this you saying?
I'm done with competing. Yeah,
Right,
I've already
okay.
put it out there, yeah. I
Oh,
said
wow.
like I sat in it for 5 days. Didn't even text Cal. Text the missus. She didn't believe me until about a week after I was out of the hospital. She was like, "No, you can go again," because she knows the drive I've had the last 2 years.
Yeah.
I was like, "I'm fucking done." Like when I say I'm done, I've sat in it. When I say something, I'm doing it. So yeah, just obviously taking up CrossFit now. So that's
That was a serious comment, was it?
It's not a-
I thought you were actually joking.
No, I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm just concentrating on fitness a bit.
Right.
I'm just getting fit. So I'm doing a few things with skiers and shit, like just intervals and stuff.
Probably do with high rocks like the rest of them do.
Probably. Probably.
I think there's nothing wrong. I think there's nothing wrong with that in bodybuilding.
Yeah.
I think it's probably something that a lot of us don't do when we should be doing.
Yeah, it's
really.
neglected, 100%.
Yeah, we're all up for taking these fucking health subs that when we're on using anabolics. We're all up for taking these fucking health subs that are going to your heart and liver. When really, probably one of the best things you could do is get fucking
Just
fit.
fucking move.
What did I tell you after your last blood work?
Get fit. Yeah, exactly.
Exact words were, how am I supposed to like this when I'm taking all these things?
Yeah.
And he goes, yeah, I haven't done cardio in 3 months. There you go.
Honestly.
You're constantly trying to
It's always
counteract something,
Yeah.
taking something else.
Yeah.
And,
When the answer's in front of you, do some
Yeah.
fucking cardio.
But it's not
season
until-
whether it's your prep, whether it's
Yeah.
whatever.
but it's not until something happens is that's when you
Yeah, that's when the
fuck, I should have done
flip.
it.
Yeah.
But
It's
then-
never. It's always reactive, isn't it?
Yeah,
Rather
so-
than being proactive.
Exactly, yeah.
Something I do a lot. I react to stuff instead of actually being proactive.
Yeah.
Already anticipated
I
it.
think
Oh
we
shit,
all
it's
go through
happened.
that.
I think that's bodybuilding in general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're so focused on enjoying immediate time, aren't you? Really, like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got to be proactive against something that hasn't happened yet. It's pretty difficult. It's just not exactly the mentality you find yourself in. You're so focused on the left foot, right foot. You're going to forget about the pothole that might be in front of you a couple of steps ahead.
Yeah.
This is true.
Too focused on whatever phase you're in, really, ain't it?
In the
rather,
immediate-
rather than thinking
Yeah.
what's happening outside of that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, and you're spinning like all these plates as well with like fucking, obviously Magic Eye's my main thing, and then family life.
Training at 4 a.m. in the morning,
Training at
being
4.
at the other side of the
Yeah, 'cause
country.
obviously when I shot you boys,
Yeah, absolutely
I
crazy,
trained early
mate.
that day,
Crazy.
absolutely
I remember the
sharp.
first time I met you, you were in prep, and you'd already trained at something like 4 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah,
You'd done an
tons of
hour's
days,
cardio.
yeah.
You looked fucked.
Yeah.
You know, honestly, you did.
Yeah.
But
But it's what I had to do. obviously,
well, of course,
to-
yeah, but you can't
to
go on like that forever, can
No.
you? And it's the same with, with Callum, really. You
exactly.
can't operate like that forever. No. Something has to give.
As he lays down on the sofa.
Yeah,
This man currently giving himself CPR.
I've had many a fierce nap on that sofa. It's cracking.
I think that looks like it is now.
Yeah, good.
But like,
Just thinking about, I still ain't done no cardio.
what's the
You was I fucking saying that as I do.
what are the magic life lessons over the last couple of weeks, and also what's the vision moving forwards now?
I mean, the biggest life lesson really is like I cannot keep burning the candle. Like that's what or chewing at the bit before it fucking bites you back. Because even though like it's non-related to anything, but it's got to be a bit of that that's related back to like how much I push myself in terms of like not training, but just the level of output in terms of like Magic Eye there, family life there, travelling up and down the country, doing 9-hour round trips for shoots. There's only so long I can do that for, and that was just like a little bit of an eye opener for me. Just kind of think, right, I can't keep fucking doing it. I can't keep pushing at this pace. Obviously, the work ethic is still going to be there, but I'm not going to like, with now not competing and like bodybuilding being such a focus. If I've got a fucking shoot in Manchester and I'm struggling to get to the gym, I'm not going to stress about it, because previously I would have got up at 3 to get to the gym for 4 to train, to do the cardio.
Yeah.
So that by the time I get to my shoot, everything's done.
Yeah.
So I'm ticking my boxes or whatever before like fucking 8 AM, and then all I got to do is just crack on with work. So now not being married to it, I'm not going to stress about that moment.
Yeah.
You know, and just
It's a priority thing, isn't it? It's a
Yeah,
priority
just
thing.
yeah.
Something had to give, and competing is what you chose to give up.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
And it's like, you know, it doesn't define me anyway, because obviously I've competed for fucking 2 years. So, you know, it's not my identity.
Yeah.
I said this on my podcast, you know, there's a lot of people that I film, their identity is bodybuilding.
Yeah.
So when they have to make the call or forced to make the call to like walk away from it, their world is fucking done. Like the world falls apart.
We spoke about that last night.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But with myself, because I'm not, it's not my identity, I'm not defined
Magic
by
Eye, you're the
it.
cameraman.
I'm just a video guy,
Right,
and I'm literally just a video guy.
Just a video game.
That's me from fucking going from 300 and whatever pounds to whatever I am now.
Yeah.
Because I was probably like 95 pounds. There's just so much to thankfully there's so much to focus on outside of that process.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because if you didn't have that, that's when shit goes
You
south.
weren't able to actually sit with it because you were focused on other things.
Didn't have time to think about
Yeah.
it. And sometimes it creeps back into your mind, but then it's like I've just got something to think about now.
Yeah,
Or got to check in.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at, man.
I'm proud of you, mate.
Yeah?
Proud of you.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate that.
It would have been easier to carry on.
I said the exact same thing to him last night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It takes a real pair of balls
Yeah, it
like,
does.
to stand up and say, like, you know what, I'm done. You know, because bodybuilding is one of those things that really, really does. It doesn't suck you in. You embrace it. You know, and you're not really like if bodybuilding hasn't taken over your life, you're just not letting go of bodybuilding for the value of how much you love it, for the value of how much it consumes you, and for the value of how good you are at it in your guys' case. You know, so like genuinely being able to take a step back for whatever reason you're presented by it, be it the downtrodden aspect of your relationship, be it the downtrodden aspect of your health, or non-related or related issues, to be able to say the thing that I love to do, the thing that ties me to the vast majority of the social circle that I'm involved with, I'm taking a step back from.
Strong man.
It takes a lot to do
Genuinely.
that, you know? It does take an awful lot to do that, because you're kind
I wouldn't be able to do it. Not at this point.
But at the end of the day, you're at a completely different level with it, so you know,
Yeah.
you've got these goals.
It's still.
My goal was just to fucking look the part up there last year.
It's just contrast, isn't it? Like, you not giving up bodybuilding would have been a stupid decision in a certain sense.
Yeah.
You giving up bodybuilding now is the
Exactly,
thing you can
yeah.
do. It's the same level of value on different sides. You know, that kind of way. It's like you need to make decisions that are better for your overall life. You know, you're just staying in it, and he's decided to step out of it. The perspective kind of ideal is the same. Which of these things is going to happen?
And look, you're only stepping out of it from a competitive
Yeah,
standpoint.
exactly, yeah.
It's that, you've got competitive bodybuilding, and then you've got the lifestyle bodybuilding, haven't you? You know.
I think it's
We're-
extremely, like, I'm the same, like, I have no idea what I'm going to be again. I'm honestly, I waved around the side, like, oh, really hooked. Right? That's probably, when I think about it enough, that's kind of where I end up. But, like, I don't feel any less involved with bodybuilding than I did when I was bodybuilding.
Yeah.
I think I feel more involved than I ever have.
Yeah.
More people know me in the bodybuilding industry than they ever have before. More people respect me in the bodybuilding industry than they ever have before. And it's not because I compete. You know, that kind of way.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm involved in the coaching game, Like, and you're involved in one of the bigger aspects of the bodybuilding industry as well, which is content creation.
Yeah.
You know, like, that's a massive, massive part. You make the people who want to look good look good.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
part of the process. Like, you're such an intrinsic part of the whole community. Because like, bodybuilding isn't a sport. It's, for me, it's a community. It's a thing. And you know, I think anyone who's involved in it will understand what I'm saying when I say that. Like, obviously, it is a sport by nature, but it is a far broader spectrum of involvement. You know, like, you know people through bodybuilding that might not necessarily be athletes, but be gym owners, promoters. You know, there are all these people who are involved in different aspects of it that tie the whole thing together. So like, I genuinely don't feel any less involved than I did, and I know for a fact that I know, Jay, you're in that earlier stage of it now,
Yeah.
where it kind of feels as though, like, where am I? I guarantee in a couple of weeks, mate, you'll step back and you go, it doesn't actually feel any different.
Yeah.
I know I look back at this moment and be grateful for it, but at the minute,
I think you actually, I think you actually, you know, competing, you're probably less involved with bodybuilding, the community, in a community standpoint, because when you're competing,
A zombie.
you don't give a fuck about anything else. It's,
Yeah.
it's you and you getting on stage. So stepping out and, you know, like you says, you're probably involved in it more now because all you are is a fucking coach.
No,
Sure.
sure.
Do you know what I mean?
You can be involved in more things.
Yeah.
And you can subscribe to more activities, if you want to call them that, or just more events, and you can be more present in, like,
I
the
can not
wider
be on
spectrum
prep
of
in
things.
Dubai when all you lot are on the
Yeah.
Sure.
session and I'm fucking stuck in the maid's room.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can tell the fucking story. You
We've got a
tell
really, really nice apartment. We've got this swanky apartment downtown Dubai overlooking the Burj Khalifa on
Tell
like the
everyone the story,
100 and
don't
something floor, and it's like floor, like massive ceilings, massive windows, like you can literally see like the fountains in front of you. And everyone was looking for their rooms, and I was like, oh my god, this is nice. Oscar gets his room, Joe Brightman with us gets his room. Han's like, oh, we're in here. I was like, where's Magic? And Magic's in the service cupboard.
on
Where
prep, like
the
4 weeks
bed
out.
is literally like head to toe, ceiling to ceiling, and
It's
it's
like
like
a coffin.
it was basically the maid's quarters, but they claimed it on Airbnb as the 4th bedroom.
Oh, for God's sake.
There's literally like a cupboard with a bed in it.
Oh dear. I did have an ensuite though.
Did you have an ensuite?
Yeah, it was like a prison fucking.
Oh, right.
Hole in the floor. I'm like, wicked.
But even that trip, you were filming, you got to do your cardio before everyone woke up, you're training, like
2 shoots a day. I think we were there 5 days or something.
yeah.
So it was 2 shoots a day. I was 4 weeks out, so everything was fucking
Yeah.
right up there in terms of output. So we got it done. But again, it's burning the candle, isn't it?
Yes, that's
That's
literally
mad.
the pinnacle of you're in that phase. Nothing else kind of
Yeah,
matters.
yeah.
Nothing else matters at that point. Like, you're gonna get whatever you need to get done, and
Yeah.
not worry about any other consequences that come with it.
But when you're in it, you thrive off it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like take more, I can do more, I can do more, I can do more.
Yeah.
And that's what makes you a good bodybuilder. at the end of
yeah.
the day.
That's what makes the best body. That's what
Yeah.
makes the best athletes, really, isn't it?
And what an amazing thing, you've almost like proved to yourself how hard you work past the years when you have to.
Yeah.
It's fucking amazing what you can get done. Obviously, you can't do it forever, but
yeah.
Yeah, I always
Props to
think
you for
I
that.
always think that when I come out of prep, I look back and I think, where did I have time to do that? How did I ever manage to
Yeah.
get all of that done in a day?
yeah,
But you just think, how, like, I just got it done.
yeah.
I mean, I did wake up like 5 hours earlier every day. I had an extra 5 hours on my day every day.
2 minutes earlier every single day on prep. Time goes
Before the
back.
alarm.
Yeah.
Goes back.
It is, how good is it though to like get up at 4:30 a.m. and actually feel like
Ting.
I'm wide awake?
Yeah.
Right, in the
yeah.
off season, you wake up at 4:30 a.m. It's like I'm just going for a piss and then go back to bed.
Don't know, I had a good 4:30.
Anything else?
Don't ask me.
Do you want to come back? I'm going to go through the camera thing.
Yeah, me, I've had a very normal year. Very
Chilling.
very little events, super normal, very default. Coming into this next one the same way as the last one.
haven't even cried once.
Sorry,
Haven't even cried once.
I've not had any crazy life experiences. Don't worry about me. No. Yeah. 2024 will be better than 2023.
The rebuild.
Yeah, the rebuild.
The rebuild.
Yeah, I spoke a lot about what was going on with me actually on Jay's podcast. I'll just use this as a plug for his.
What's your podcast called, Joe?
The Beautiful Struggle podcast.
The Beautiful Struggle podcast.
I like that name.
Yeah, it's cool. It's very, very cool. I actually filmed an episode with Jay yesterday. It was a cool experience to be able to sit down on a bodybuilding podcast and not really talk about bodybuilding.
Yeah.
You know, it's more so about the individual involved in bodybuilding. I think.
When are we expecting that episode on?
Jay, when are we expecting that episode?
Probably by the weekend.
Probably by the weekend. So that'll be up. So anyone who wants to learn about how my year went, will find it there.
Yeah.
You know.
because I've retired from bodybuilding, I'm going to edit in fucking quick time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well, I watched the one that you did. I watched the episode
With Ava screaming in the background.
Yeah.
Special guests.
Yeah, dogs on a mad one, weren't they?
How many Procoach this year?
About a bit of a shit, to be fair. 8. Got 10 last year.
Only the 8.
You were one of them, then. there were some very special pro cards this year.
Yeah, it was really
very special.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been good. It's been good. I think that's probably the last podcast of the year. And probably the last time maybe the last time we're all in the same room, maybe on December the meet-up as well.
17th, December 17th.
But I just want to take this opportunity, Ben, as well, to just thank you all for your efforts and your commitment to what we're building, and I appreciate you all.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Fucking ready.
I try to speak for everyone, Cal, and we all say how appreciative we are of the opportunity that Procoach gives all of us to do our thing and do what we love. So another year doing that again.
You're holding me back.
That's because he's doing it. That's because he's doing it. I'm a big old cranky bastard.
I'll be in this game longer than you.
Get that in your fucking show.
I look at Procoach like it's my baby. That much I care, as much I care about it now. Do you know, like even with a coach consultant, because it's like been so integrated. It's like our longest lasting client at this point now. Obviously, it's hard to a lot of the time. Like, look, I have a great relationship with a lot of my clients, but to have a team which is this big and have still such a good gel, it shows the power of the community and power of the brand, mate. And I am absolutely knackered right now, so I'm struggling to solve myself up, but it's all worth it. And I think that's, for me, I don't really care how hard the journey is, it's about what outcome we're going to get from it. And today and going into January, I stand by, this is the biggest and best online coaching company in the world, I think. That's what I stand by.
I can't drop the mic, but if it was there, I would have dropped
Metaphorically.
it. And yeah, just a final word to end the year. Just we appreciate everyone's support and following the journey, and every like, every subscribe. Although we still got fuck all subscribers, so somebody press subscribe, please. Yeah, just it wouldn't be possible without everyone else's support and interest in what we do. So that's a big part of it. That's a big part of it.
Final round of applause.
Yeah, let's have it.
2023 wrap.